Ladies and gentlemen, imagine if Trump's White House, his Oval Office, imagine if there was a story where, if you want to call it snow or an illegal substance linked to Hunter, was found. Imagine, just for a second, imagine, okay? There's a story that's being just swept under the rug right now. The question is, how did this substance get into the Oval Office or that area of the government? How? Okay, Politico, House Oversight Chair James Comer is requesting a briefing and information on the substance found within Biden's White House. Okay, the question is, number one, how would media and Democrats react if they found snow, we'll just call it snow, or a substance linked to Hunter within Trump's, within the building that he resides in as president? It would be the end of the world. The New York Times and the Washington Post and the Atlantic and Rolling Stone and Vanity Fair and Esquire would pontificate and preach. CNN, MSNBC would run 24-hour-a-day stories on how decrepit and immoral and corrupt and how Trump has ruined the sanctity of the presidency. And you have mashed potato brains who can't even read teleprompters and is possibly one or two steps ahead of Fetterman on communication skills. You have a country that right now is barely averting a recession, but a country that's embroiled in a never-ending military conflict in Europe and a whole lot of other problems with homelessness and crime. Poverty has gone up, again, for the left-leaning, morally superior. I was listening to this billionaire on Fox News the other day on the mortgage and the U.S. housing market. And at the end, he said, "Oh, well, I'm a Democrat, and I think that they're better for poor people." It's like, well, go to any major city in the country and ask if people who are suffering with poverty are doing better under Biden's America. They're doing worse. It was the Democratic Party that gleefully pushed to shut down and end economic activity when that didn't have to happen. But we can go on forever. They allow the poverty to fester and get worse. Poverty is up now in Biden's America. We had a record low poverty with Trump in 2019. Record highs in household median income. Inflation was 2%. And the inflation rate is even not only far worse than it was with Trump, but when he left office, the poverty rate and the inflation rate are higher than when Trump left office. So if you want to say, well, 2019, that was before you-know-what. More people lost their lives of you-know-what with Biden in office. But anyway, how did this substance appear? Well, you have Hunter there all the time. Now, the interesting thing is they say, well, it couldn't have been Hunter because there's too many safeguards or there are too many people in the way. Like, for example, one person said there's no way it's Hunter's. And so, So, yeah, there's one article here. But it is inconceivable to think it could sit there for 72-hour period. Well, no, it's not inconceivable in Biden's White House. So it's not inconceivable at all. Hit subscribe to this channel, by the way. Hit subscribe to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com to my new Patreons. Thank you. Your Patreon support is so important. Thank you so very much. Become a member of the channel. We're going to grow. In 2024, we're really going to grow. Later this year, we'll grow. The channel's going to move a lot more. It's just been a little bit slow. A lot of great things happening for me, thank God. And I will be doing a lot of interviews in 2024. A lot of wonderful interviews. And so I'm reaching out to some really wonderful, amazing people. World-renowned, awesome individuals. So that'll be fantastic. Super thanks is below also. But ladies and gentlemen, the question is, you have Hunter's laptop. You have clear violations of the law, felonies within Hunter's laptop, according to the New York Post. New York Post, Daily Mail, the reporting shows the emails. How can you use your influence on the company's behalf? But not only that, you have the people who sell the substances found in that location, people who consume those substances, other people associated with that world. Hunter is basically embroiled, let's say they use that word again, in that scene. It could have been from him. Do we know 100%? No. Was it anyone else? They were filming a movie in that location, so it could have been from Hollywood, another epicenter of immorality and corruption that is firmly against Trump at all times. So you have to ask yourself, well, who is against Trump? I was told one time by a very smart person, I'm on the wrong side of history because I support Trump, who we had record low poverty with Trump, and he brought home Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. So, oh my God. But ask yourself who is against Trump. Intel agencies, Hollywood, all of media. When is the last time all three were on the right side of history? Okay, and then, the most apoplectic, when people condemn and judge and they pontificate, the side that judges the most and wants to censor and silence debate discussion is the Democratic Party. They even wanted a ministry of information, essentially, okay, to prevent the spread of information that misinforms, as they misinform people all the time. And then when they're called out and their categorical statements are proven to be false, they then say, well, it was the best we could do. And from our sensibilities, it was the most logical thing. And so they're not only content with being wrong on categorical statements and then laughing, and this is about a bunch of topics, but what happens is they filter whatever their missteps are through their sensibilities. Well, it was the cost benefit was our decision, and it was obviously the most rational decision. And the rest of humanity is saying, no, if you didn't force the country to do this or that, nobody would listen to you. Why do you think Democrats want to sign laws that say the entire planet must speak a certain way, the entire planet must take a certain thing, the entire planet must do a certain thing? Because nobody would listen to them. Even Democrats wouldn't listen to them. If liberal politicians or the liberal electorate, let's just say, did not enforce, there's another word to use, but enforce through laws, speech, behavior, taking certain things, nobody would listen. I would say a small percentage of the population would. Generally, people don't listen and give blind allegiance to a group of experts, okay? Before the past couple of years, a group of experts were just what they were. People who were very knowledgeable, who could be wrong, who are oftentimes wrong. And so, this is just an example. So, you look at this fabricated consensus, then they say, oh, it's a credible accusation. Never a credible accusation to them. Everything against them. Everything is filtered. When Biden has accusations left and right, oh, not credible, and Trump has more. Well, Trump has more. Why do you think Trump has more? Because there's a greater incentive, maybe, to accuse Trump. But again, it's like all of this is this morality scale, this curved. Morality is graded on a curve with the morally superior among us. That's why when they disown friends and family, they do so from the vantage point of they are less bad than the Republicans and Trump. Because although Hunter and Joe and the economy and the foreign policy, they're not that great, but at least it's better than Trump. And so they don't realize people were doing better with Trump. Were you doing better with Trump? Just if you're on the left, if you happen to stumble upon this and listen 9 minutes, there's no way, because I'm conservative on most things now, and I'm, choosing Trump. I obviously the most sane and rational choice, the moral imperative. Were you doing better under were you doing better under Trump or Biden economically? Okay, obviously it was Trump. Give me your thoughts below. hit subscribe to this channel. Gee, how did that substance get there? Gee, wonder how.